What are some of your favorite movies and TV shows?
Now that I'm 50, looking back, I can't believe the amount of television I watched when I was a kid.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship. The mate was a mighty sailing man, the skipper brave and sure. 5 passengers set sail that day for a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour.
My favorite show of all time was St. Elsewhere. And other shows that I enjoyed watching were Police Squad, as briefly as it was on television. Hawaii Five-0 was a favorite for a number of years. In later years, when you were a little baby, the big show that everyone watched, and I really enjoyed it also, was Seinfeld. In later years, I enjoyed watching West Wing and 24. Movies. My favorite movie of all time was and still is Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's gonna be tough to beat that one. The Right Stuff is one of my all-time favorites. When I look back over the years, some of the classics from each decade certainly made an impact. Citizen Kane I saw when I was in college and was knocked over by it. Same thing with North by Northwest. I saw that at USC and still look at it as one of my favorite films of all time. Saturday Night Fever was probably the movie that made the biggest impact on me in wanting to make movies. I was a freshman in college when Saturday Night Fever opened up, and I thought, this is so cool, the way they integrated music and a dramatic story into these really cool shots of people dancing, and they always used these low angles, and they didn't overcut in those days. That was before they had digital editing, and editors didn't go cut, 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 cut on every beat of the music, and they would play out the scene so you got to see the dancing. Saturday Night Fever made a big impact on me.
Well, what TV shows do you watch recently?
He just answered that.
Recently? Well, whenever I'm walking past the TV here in the house, I end up watching Hannah Montana or Zack and Cody because you guys are watching it.
No, what about Gold? I'm not watching that.
Or, oh golly, when Nicole's is Gossip Girl and OC.
No, 90210.
And 90210. My God. You know, it's okay because when I was your age, I watched crap also, and I grew out of it. What?
Are you a liberal or a conservative? Who did you vote for in the last election?
What kind of question is that? You're not supposed to talk about sex, politics, or religion at the dinner table.
You wrote it down, and I already know the answer to this.
Okay. Tell me.
You're a conservative, very, very conservative, and you voted for McCain because you didn't vote for Obama.
Or Hillary Clinton.
And have I been that way all my life?
No.
And what brought on the change?
When you grew up and you learned about politics.
In college.
Global warming.
That's a pretty good answer. I grew out of my liberalism. When I was a brain-dead liberal, which was most of my life, I supported all liberal causes, voted for all the lefties, voted for Jesse Jackson twice, voted for Dukakis, voted for Clinton twice.
You're like insulting like everybody here who voted for Obama, just so you know.
I did not vote for Obama. But it is kind of half funny, half serious the way I have evolved in my political leanings, because growing up in a household of Democrats and liberal educators, it was just the way it was. I was naturally born a Democrat, a liberal Democrat, and I was that way through my 20s, through my 30s. But about the time I was 40, about the time you were a kid, I just started to see things in a different way.
What are some of your hobbies?
Hobbies? Oh, that's a good one, Isabella. Playing with electric trains. But I only play with electric trains during the Christmas season. But I liked Hot Wheels when I was a kid. Now my biggest hobby, believe it or not, is what I do for a living, is making movies. Making home movies for the family is probably my most favorite hobby. When I was younger, I used to do a lot of scrapbook collecting. I would cut things out of the newspaper and build scrapbooks. I would save comics. I would save articles from the newspapers. I would save postcards. a bit of a pack rat, so I do save a lot of stuff.
Why do you live in Mill Valley and what's so good about it?
I live in Mill Valley. Believe it or not, it's just by chance. I live in Mill Valley because my parents moved to Mill Valley when I was 11 years old, and they moved to Mill Valley because Jim, my stepdad, was transferred from San Luis Obispo to San Francisco. But I fell in love with Mill Valley through my high school years and then left to go to college and was away from Mill Valley from age 19 until age 32. And it wasn't until that I got married with your mom that we moved up to Mill Valley, and that's when I really fell in love with this community. When I moved to Los Angeles when I was 21 years old, I kind of figured I'd be there for the rest of my life. Even when Florencia and I moved here in 1992, I didn't think we'd be in Mill Valley for more than a couple of years. One of the greatest things about living in Mill Valley, of course, is the sense of community, the sense of belonging to something. It's a small town, but yet it has all the same advantages of living near a city, the coast, and the mountains. The air is clean, the traffic is minimal, and the schools, of course, are wonderful. The 8 years that you guys were at Tam Valley were 8 of the most memorable, wonderful years of our lives. Yet, when you add on to that the years at the Mount Carmel Church, being part of the church community and the friends we've met there, and of course, all the years you guys have spent playing soccer, basketball, and softball, and we've loved going to all the games and sharing the times with you guys and the other families. Nicole was in the Girl Scouts for a couple of years with Tia, and then there were the years that Florencia was a basketball coach of Isabella's teams, and I know she enjoyed that tremendously. As of course did I when I was coaching Isabella's team in softball with Coach Alex and Coach Kirby. And of course the three groups that have made probably the biggest impact on us, the 19 years we've lived in Mill Valley, and that's been my involvement with the Mill Valley Historical Society, the connections we made through the Tamaulipas Runners Club, which has been traveling and friendships, and of course the 5 years that I spent with Isabella and the Indian Princesses, the Coastanoan tribe. That may have been the most special of all the memories I have of being a dad here in Mill Valley. I could naturally go on forever, but just suffice to say the Mill Valley has been a great place to live while you guys have been growing up. It's a combination of Mayberry, Nirvana, and Bedford Falls.
So, what are the names of all the people in your family?
My brothers and sisters,
No,
or
no,
you mean
no,
my
like
cousins also?
our-
Or and family in the house here. Starts off with me, Tim, my wife, Florencia, Nicole, and Isabella.
And Panchito.
And Panchita the stupid cat.
Okay.
Is that it?